So far in Formula 3, yesterday's sprint race was absolutely fantastic. A true example of how the junior formula can race at Spa. Not a single yellow flag was given. Ultimate respect between all of the drivers. And it was Noah Stromstead who came across as well for victory with the Trident for his first win. Welcome to what is going to be an absolutely fantastic feature race as the rain is coming down here at Spa-Francorchamps. Yep, that's exactly how we like to see. For round 8 of the championship, the safety car will start this race with the formation laps. It is bucketing it down here around this 7.004 kilometre circuit, 19 turns in total, and it completely throws the strategy out of the window. No DRS in usage, and we are going to be in for a very bizarre morning. So in terms of overall lap time, that has now gone of the 2:04. We'll be lucky if we actually get around here in under 3 minutes with the safety car out. Wet times around here around the 2-minute 35s. And this increases the downforce level and makes brake wear a little bit easier, as well as fuel consumption and tyre usage. Well, alongside me in the commentary box is Omi and Jake Sanson. And, well, I don't know what's worse. 2021 or now, because this is just relentless, isn't it, at the moment, Omi? It is coming down and it will not stop, and these little tyres, as we know, don't like this weather.
Yeah, start finish straight, absolutely getting soaked at the moment. So while we are set to start behind the safety car, that could definitely still be a long time till we actually get going, because probably when they do get out there, I'm expecting quite a bit of aquaplaning and the drivers complaining about the grip that they have available, which is basically going to be nothing at the moment.
I suppose, Jake, the good thing is that they're actually going to try and start this race on time. They're not going to delay the start and then cancel it. But the problem is, you've raced, so you've walked here, you've done this action in the rain before. When it rains here, it is like no other track, because the elevation change, the standing water, certainly at Eau Rouge, it's such a dangerous circuit in the wet.
It's very difficult because the drainage is not particularly straightforward. With so many peaks and troughs, there are pockets of water that collect in various different parts of the circuit. And because it's uphill and down dale, the amount of standing water changes quite dramatically through the course of the lap. And there are parts of the circuit that are certainly a lot wetter than others. Plus, take into account that there's this little microclimate in this part of Belgium as well. It is so changeable through the course of any form of race day. There are parts of the circuit where it'll be raining, other parts of the circuit where it'll be drying out. So you really do get an unbelievable variation across an entire lap in wet conditions at Spa. It's a bit like a jet ski race. No 2 laps are the same as each other. So you've basically got to go through every single lap on this circuit on pure instinct. There is no challenge quite like Spa-Francorchamps in the wet.
Yesterday was a great example of how the Junior Series can race at Spa. Today's going to be a great example of how lucky these drivers are to keep it on in one direction. It is a brand new Formula 3 car here that they've never run in the wet at Spa, so that is going to be a little bit more of a warning sign. We'll go through the grid shortly, as you can see it on your screen alongside. But Omi, the big thing is, if we do go red flag, the race technically wouldn't have started, but we are going to be taking off the laps. So no matter what happens, it's still 45 minutes to try and get this race in with 15 laps on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. The aim is to get this race in, but the rain is definitely not allowing us to, well, it's not helping us, let's just say, with that goal at the moment. As we're about to tick off onto the safety car lap, I would not be surprised if we have cars going off the road at this level, because even behind the safety car, this is going to be wild. Yeah,
this is Japan 2014 levels when we had to start the race behind the safety car, and we saw the Caterhams flying off the circuit as well under safety car and full wet tyres. We're underway then, and already on board with Nicholas Solov, the spray into La Source is very heavy. And to be honest, Jay, I can see this being a red flag immediately. This is so bad, and we haven't even got down to a rouge yet.
I can see this being red flag down the Camel Straight because it is very treacherous.
Nice and calm, mate. Nice and calm. Let's be smart about this one. We've got the upper hand.
Yes, fine.
He very much.
Yeah, play it nice and
Yeah,
cool.
two guys on the front row that I'm really good mates with, Brad Benavides and Rafael Camara. This is such a tough challenge for both men. It's all going to come down to the composure on the start. But yeah, looking at the standing water, this harkens back a little bit to the Spa 24 Hours 2023, where in similar conditions, we rather sadly lost Delano Van Toff on the run up to Raidillon. This is all about race control. They've got to be smart. They've got to listen to every single radio message from every single driver in every single team. They've got to take into account that there are parts of the circuit that are just aquaplane territory. Look at Lake Combe. It is so difficult at that point. There are other parts of the circuit that are not going to be quite as bad, but looking at that weather radar, this is going to be here for a while, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better. The camera can't even think. Oh, straight in. That's one of the Ike's cars.
James Headley's in the wall, and that's at the
James.
top. That's at Rouge, and he might live to fight another day, actually. And we've got another one off. Tim Traminitz is backwards on the Camel Straight.
Yeah, this is red flags. This is red flags. There's no point in sending these guys into... Oh, my word, there's two of them.
That's one of the McLarens. Brandon Badoa off, and he's got a front suspension, and we will surely now see the red flags.
Yeah, red flag. There's no percentage in this. There's no percentage in this at all.
Yeah, you are right. It's red flag now. Well, that is ridiculous. Well, to be fair, when you are aquaplaning off behind the safety car, it has to be a red flag situation. You can bear... It is coming down. I've never seen it like this ever at Spa. This is the heaviest rain I can certainly remember. It is coming down, and it is bouncing off the start. Oh, it's bouncing off the tarmac. This is insane.
I don't quite understand. I have to say, I don't quite understand why we even went under safety car procedure in these conditions. To me, we have been so careful. We have been so cautious over the years at Spa, and we've got plenty of reason to understand why with the absence now of Antoine Hubert and Delano Van Toff. Why would you even send them around when you know that the rain is coming down in that intensity at various points of the circuit? Even if it's not on every point of the circuit, you know that the rain is coming down in that. I mean, my goodness, this is Sepang. This is Sepang 2001.
Yeah.
This is just unbelievable how wet it is. Fair play to James Headley for getting it going again, but I genuinely think the race control were asleep here, sending them out in these conditions. I was there, Spa 2023, and I know how bad it was. This is worse than that. Why on earth would they send them out in this?
Yeah, this is Malaysia level rain as well. About how it's just
it is. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, so unfortunately, with this rain setting as well all day with bigger cells, this isn't even the biggest cell we've got coming.
No.
What happened there?
Spa Rouge.
Oh, he was so lucky.
Yeah. Well.
He was in 28th place, but if he was higher up the field, then that could have been a big one.
Yeah. I really feel for James Headley this year, because this is an opportunity that he was not expecting at the start of the season. When I was talking to him back in January at Yas Marina, he was lucky to get the drive at Formula Regional Middle East, from what he was telling me. He was pinning all his hopes on the Super Formula drive after the successful test he had out in Japan. They eventually gave the seat to Zach O'Sullivan, and he was really devastated at that point. Here's Tim Traminitz, straight line.
Oh, he got hit by Badoa.
He got hit. No, he got hit. He got hit. Brando Badoa hit him from behind. He couldn't even see the red light in front of him properly until it was too late.
Big crash. Is the car okay? No, mate. The car is completely...
I think Badoa was already backwards. I think...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Which means he was fast in reverse.
Well, I'd be fascinated to see how Brando lost it, because Brando is a fairly cautious driver on the formation laps in these situations. He's one of the calmer drivers. So for Brando to have lost it in such a fashion, oh my word, the damage to Brando's car. That looks like it's been in green flag territory, not in safety car territory. So Headley got it going again. But this is mad. I mean, James, when I heard that he got the F3 drive, I messaged him. I said, how on earth did this happen? He went, do you know what? Your guess is as good as mine. I am so relieved that we've got something big and decent for this year. It's a weird team, the Ike's Racing team, because it's all funded from this conglomerate group based up the Burj Khalifa. A very, very unusual setup, and obviously they took it over midway through last season. So they've basically got a whole team of people who are trying to basically claim sport as their own in a very similar way to the way that Red Bull has done over the last 20 years. That's what the Ike's Racing program is all about. They want to basically hit up different forms of sport. Their eventual plan is to go into rugby, into football, into cricket, into tennis. They really want to hit this as a global project. Racing is their big objective to start with, because they've got a few people within the Ike's group who are racing people. But it is unusual the way they've gone about this. They've gone for drivers, certainly in F3 this year, who have talent over money, which is always a pleasing sight. So for someone like James to have that kind of incident in these conditions, it always puts a bit more pressure on a driver when those things, you know, are out of your control. I have to say though, absolutely baffled and bemused as to why we went under safety car procedure under these conditions. Absolutely baffled.
The only good thing is for James Headley is that two of the drivers went off with him as well, so it kind of takes the error off him and more to the condition.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Let's hear from Slater.
I've never seen so much rain in my life.
Yeah, that's true.
And Freddie would know. You know, he's been in all sorts of mad situations in his karting and his junior Formula days all over the world. He's seen it all. And yeah, this is madness.
So, Omi, where on earth do we go from here? First of all, what are your thoughts on that crash? And we're going to have to just cancel this, aren't we? Because the focus has to be on the Formula 1 and the F3 feature. I don't think anybody wants to start.
Yeah, of course, Formula 2's already had a cancelled race this year. Formula 3 only has had a few laps shortened. So the priority definitely has to be on the F2 and Super Cup that's coming on, which has also had like very shortened races across this season. F3's been able to get a full campaign so far, but I don't believe that will be the case by the end of today. But we need to prioritize. We need to prioritize, of course, making sure that the safety of the drivers, because this is just terrible. We've got rivers forming, we've got everything happening around this place. I'm with Jake. They should not have let them out. I don't know why they did. The rain was falling so much.
We could see it hitting on the start line, and I was surprised they actually let them go. This is on board with Tim Tramnitz once more. So, yeah, is he backwards already? So Tramnitz gets whacked. Now, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's already gone. He's already gone. You're right.
The Doe's already backwards.
That is such a weird incident.
So that means he was faster backwards than he was under the safety car. So you aquaplaning at a faster speed?
The car right in front of me stopped in the middle of the straight, and I was right behind.
I mean, yeah.
Oof. So what?
Very strange situation. Very strange. I'm not sure that's accurate, because
I don't think it is.
we could see from his onboard he was still traveling at a relatively sustainable rate. There's Tukka Tarpanen getting himself ready to go back in, but I don't know if they're actually going to be getting behind the wheel of these cars anytime soon. The rain is consistent, it's steady, and I don't really see any major progress in this. The thing is, Omi was talking about, you know, we've got to prioritise F2, we've got to prioritise Super Cup. Super Cup can't run in this, never mind F2.
I'm worried now that if we're going to have an F1 race today, again.
I am starting to think, you know, if what you say, if what you said earlier in the bill is true, Josh, then essentially if we're only at the beginning of the pockets of rain, I think we're in a very similar situation to what we had in 2021. Very similar.
There is a very heavy rain cell with much deeper amount of rain due about 20 minutes before the start of the race for Formula 1.
The thing is, you look at this situation and people cry out and go, oh, why are we putting Spa on a rotational basis? Why? Why is Spa one of the true classic circuits in Formula 1 on rotational basis? With things like this, you can understand why.
Yeah.
The thing is, the weather at this part of the year, which is when Spa traditionally runs, it is consistently like this. It is a big pocket of weather that comes in from the far side over the English Channel, and it hits every year at this sort of time. It doesn't matter whether you run the event in July, it doesn't matter whether you run the event in August. It would be even worse if you put it back to when it used to run in April. So you've got to take this into consideration. Is it worth having these difficulties from a logistics point of view and from a safety point of view? The track itself is not safe. The weather in the area makes it unsafe.
I mean, it's the only track on the calendar where you sort of think, oh, it's like NASCAR and IndyCar on an oval race. If it rains here, we can't run.
Yeah.
Did you have any aquaplaning coming here? Yes.
Tires?
About them.
Do you think aquaplaning from the tires not being in the right temperature?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's quite wet, mate.
Oh God, James.
Oh, James always tells it like it is. I love James with my whole heart. He will never back down from his honesty. He just says it like it is. Look at it at the top of Radion.
No, we can't go racing. I think that we should.
I think it's a very
good.
good. I think it's a very good chance we will not have a Grand Prix later if it keeps up like this.
Right. So information for what we need for Spa: second camera and somebody else to take the Formula E race.
Oh my word! Why did they even send them behind the safety car? I don't understand. Look at it at the top of Radion with the safety car out.
The safety car was
Why?
having problems. That's another question as well.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Why would you send them out in that situation? Why are you not communicating correctly with your marshals and your officials around the circuit to get those active reports? This is worse than Spa 98.
Yeah, this is... I've never seen Malaysia in Spa. We've seen it in other races over the years.
Yeah.
But this is ridiculous. I thought for sure we'd have a red flag, by the way, in Silverstone when that rain came down. The amount of water we had on the circuit. They managed to do it under the safety car. And I said it was like 1998.
The good thing about Silverstone, I guess, is that because it's fairly even in terms of its elevation and its camber, is that the drainage is very efficient at Silverstone nowadays. It dries quickly there, even in the cold. But Spa, it's just so variable. The thing is, when you look at the race we had in F3 yesterday, how tame they were, a lot of people were saying on the stream, why doesn't somebody make an overtake? That's the territory we're getting into, with circuits that are a bit more traditional on the circuit, like Spa, like Zandvoort. You can nod to the history all you want, but the way that the sport is evolving, you have to adapt the circuits on the calendar to make it race-worthy. And Spa, as amazing as it is as a driver's circuit, I think now that we've got the cars the way that they are, gone are the days where it's a racer's circuit. It's not as easy to go wheel to wheel and side by side at Spa as it used to be in the Hakkinen and Schumacher days, for example. Those days are different.
Rain expected to decrease from 9. So let's see what happens.
That's in 18 minutes. Even if it decreases, you've still got the standing water that's around the circuit. It all congeals down at this entry to the source as well. So that's going to be another factor to try and keep up with it. And it's, if anything, the rain's getting heavier out there as well.
And those clouds hang in the trees, so the moisture stays. So even if it starts to shift, you've still got that moisture, that pocket of water holding in the trees around the circuit. So it's inevitable that it's just going to keep going. And I think this F3 race isn't going anywhere.
Oh, I agree. This is done. But Omi, do you remember Silverstone? The rain had stopped, but in the feature race, but it was the standing water, the visibility that was the problem.
Yeah, we had to red flag and stop the F3 race and then move on to F2. Luckily, we were able to get a good F2 race in, but today that's not looking like the sight. All of the teams and drivers will be discussing about the one lap that they had, and that was quite the one lap as well, around 7 kilometers off Spa. One of the more challenging laps, just trying to keep that pointing in the right direction. But yeah, I don't think this race is going to be getting anywhere. It's just the way, unfortunately. It works sometimes in motorsport, but we have to prioritize the safety of these drivers. But yeah, I have to agree. Spa, you can't really question to some degree of why we're heading into a rotation as well. If we come here and we have about a 50% chance or even more of something like this every year.
I mean,
ultimately, Spa is a great circuit for GT racing. It's a brilliant circuit for touring car racing. is it still a great race circuit for Formula One? For a driver on a hot lap, there's no better experience. But for racing wheel to wheel, you know, we're in a formula now where it's difficult to run in the wake of a car in front of you, even with DRS. Look at what we had in the F1 sprint yesterday morning.
No one could
You know,
overtake, yeah.
McLaren had the faster car. No one could take on Max because he was just able to run on, you know, on the boost button on the ERS. But how much of a race circuit can you have at Spa? It's a driver's circuit. It's a bit like the old Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Yes, yeah.
You know, for a driver, it is an incredible experience. For racing, you couldn't have Formula One around there, no way. And Spa is getting that way.
I think what we need at Spa is... Oh, the medical car's going out now as well. So let's just see how the standing water looks. They have got the drainage. Now, here's the thing though, you know, as you can see on the way down towards Lassos, they cut grooves into the track, didn't they? In order to help with the spray, and they did that for the first 4 rows of the grid. Great idea. Can we have that permanently? It makes sense. In the dangerous parts of the circuit, do it for a rouge. Get rid of some of the standing water.
I just do not see this race getting underway again, because if you look at, there are certain parts of the track that are getting drier, but there are certain parts that are just suicidally dangerous.
I like how we've now actually got jet dryers, like in NASCAR. Someone finally listened for Spa.
How long did that take for an American-owned conglomerate to come in and use American-style tactics to dry the circuit? Thing is, it's still raining. So until it stops raining, there's no point doing that, because you're just going to add more water to the situation.
It's like what Murray said as well, but remember back in '82, they've actually got hoses in the tunnel. Yeah. Because it was so dangerous, because you go from wet to dry, they had to equal it out, so they've got a fire truck and hosed into the tunnel. Genius idea.
I think that's one of the reasons why Monaco is the only Grand Prix circuit that has a tunnel.
Yeah.
Just because the logistical challenges of doing that again for another event just aren't worth it.
I mean, we see in Formula E with their Excel race a couple of years ago when it thundered down in the last race of the year. We had to red flag it eventually. We did get going again an hour and a half later. But the problem was it was so wet outside but completely dry inside. The drivers were having completely dry tyres by the time they reached turn 1.
Oh my word! The medical car just tank slapped it.
Yeah, this isn't going to get going, is it?
And that wasn't even pushing that hard either. Oh my goodness. That was the mother of all power slides. Ay, ay, ay. That must have been frightening for the driver.
Yesterday,
because when you lose it there, you are on a one-way trip to the barriers.
And let's just remind people that these medical cars, they're not just 4x4s. They are sliding again, coming through Stabilo. They have got medical equipment in it as well, and they are rear heavy. They slide the back.
Oh.
I'd rather be in the Aston Martin than the Mercedes with the medical cars today.
I just think, at the end of the day, the question that they have to ask in going racing is, how big is the risk factor? When you go up to the top of Raidillon under race conditions, if one car loses it,
well,
we're going to repeat history for the worst possible reason. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. And you're all there sitting at home thinking, well, yeah, but we're race fans. We want to see racing. We want to see them go battling. You got to remember, some of these kids are 16, 17.
Did you really got a hole in it? I'm pretty sure mine's got holes in it.
Oh, Freddie. I love you, mate.
I can't actually see if it has got holes in it or not. I suppose the first driver...
I love Freddie so much.
The first driver to be able to tell us if it has stopped raining is Hugo Kachuru, because he's such a tall lad.
Of all of the kids on the F3 grid, Freddie is probably the one I know the most and know the best.
Yeah, he's such a good lad.
That's typical Freddie all over. He will turn the situation into a laugh. Oh, I love him to pieces. Can't wait till he gets to F1. It's going to be hard to know who's going to be the bigger joker, Lando or Freddie. Trust me.
Oh, I can't wait. Lando probably be a two-time champion by then as well.
Oh, well, possibly, yeah, could well be.
Right, here's that tank slap a moment again, and we're coming through Puon.
Yeah, into Pool we went. I guess we get to give you some analysis then, as we made our way through and standing on power and then nearly losing it, but just about keeping it going, fighting away with it. And well,
Oh, look
I
at
mean,
the discs!
yeah, look at that as we arrive down to the braking zone. This is just wild.
That is the most leery I have ever seen the medical car in Formula One, though. Seriously, that was the mother of all tank slappers. That required some mega car control.
I'm going to say it, Aston Martin over Mercedes for medical and safety cars.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
It looks better. It seems to handle better. If you're asking to create a better GT car, I would give it to the Mercedes AMG every time.
Yeah.
Over safety car and medical car, the Aston seems to be a better car to handle.
Bar when it had its brake failure last year. That was a bit terrifying. I've never seen a safety car. Burton's never crashed a safety car. And he threw it in the wall down at Parabolica.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Look, we've had medical cars destroyed. 3 medical cars have been destroyed over the years of Formula 1. Heidfeld hit one in 2002.
Interlagos.
We had an accident, didn't we, in Monaco 2000 at
Yep.
Tabac. And I can't remember when the third one happened. I can't remember when.
Brad Benavides, good buddy.
Oh.
Looking for a relaxed and chilled out start into this race. Oh, let's hear from him if we can.
Wholesome feeling, and especially because I have my parents here with me. They haven't been able to attend all races in the season. To have them here, it's a very lovely feeling, and then ultimately I'm just humbled and grateful also to the team for giving me a good car. Well, whatever can happen will happen, right? Murphy's Law. I run by that, and no matter what comes my way, I always try to be as analytical as possible, as objective as possible, as professional as possible, together with my team and with the right mindset and with the right focus. You could just maximize whatever is handed to you, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? That's all one can do, ultimately.
There we go.
Brad is a lovely, lovely guy, and I know his sister very well. She used to be I'm not sure if she still is, but she used to be the media and marketing executive for the Sony Kart brand in karting, as well as supporting her brother through his single-seater journey. So I know the family really well. They've got such passion and enthusiasm for this burning through their veins. It's so lovely to see Brad come through and get up at the front end. Teofil Nal, he's actually had a very unusual route to come through to the top level of Formula 3. Most drivers on this grid will have gone through their local karting circuits, their regional karting championships, the national series, then move on to European championships, and then maybe even the FIA karting European and World Championships. Teofil Nal did none of that. He basically went to IAME's Pinnacle Series in Europe and then went straight into cars, the same way that Oliver Behrman did it. So an unusual route for Teofil Nal. So for him to be right up there with Van Amersfoort here in Formula 3, amazing ability from Teofil Nal. The way he acclimatized to Formula Regional as well as a novice, there's a lot of potential in Teofil Nal. I think maybe you'll get to see that properly for the first time in 2026.
Yeah, he's a year to sort of adjust himself in, isn't he? He's been doing it quite well. He's had a couple of podiums as well coming into it. So he is a fantastic driver. And he's got that sort of gumption to go for overtakes when nobody else will. So he's definitely got it. There's another man who, after his accident, as well, that we're all cheering on, Roman Blinsky as well, because he is just absolutely fantastic. And Roman, you've been describing his fight back as well quite a lot, and how difficult it is, but he's right on it, and he's been pushing hard.
Yeah, what he was able to do in Freca last year, where, I mean, he was told that he wouldn't be able to walk again, he was told he wouldn't be able to drive again, he went on and proved all of that wrong, and then in a few months went back in a Freca car at Imola when he wasn't ready at all, just to get a seat in Formula 3, and then he got rejected by that actual team in the end. He was trying to secure a drive, but then Roden saw potential, signed him. He was seconds off the pace as well in testing, but they worked, they got there. He was able to brake a bit more later going into the corners. He still doesn't feel anything, I think, in his left leg as well. So there's so much for Roman Belinsky. All of the work that he's done to get in this position and then to be contending or podiums. He made history in the opening round of our year, becoming the first Polish driver to stand on a Formula 3 podium. And if he is to win, then he'll become the first winner from Poland as well. So he's already come in and he's creating history, but there was a big chance he could have just been sitting at this and watching with the rest of us.
I'm so sorry to people who waiting to watch the warm-up session for the World Superbikes. It was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. It started at 7:50. I do apologise. I'm trying to get it open now, but my OBS on my computer is not wanting to open for me. So, guys...
Fine.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Give me 30 seconds. As I just need to move things around. Hi.
Hi, David.
Hello.
I'm amazed it's going to restart at all.
Sorry, what did that say? Did that say we're going to restart?
We're going to restart.
What?
We're going to restart behind the safety car on wet weather tyres. What on earth? Race restarting at 9:05 local time.
And
Are they mad?
That now means that the race will be official, no matter what happens.
I don't have any words.
We better double check.
I'm sorry,
Go on.
I don't have any words for that.
I don't know how this warm-up session has started without me knowing. I'm generally confused about that. I do apologise, viewers, because it was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. It was not supposed to start at 7:50. So I'm now slightly worried about the rest of the times. I'll try and I'm trying as quickly as I can to get it on so you can see the results. There we go.
Don't have any other words.
No, I don't.
I mean, I can't tell you how difficult it was
Hang on a minute, I'm on the wrong stream.
having to go. I can't tell you how difficult it was having to go into the commentary box for the start of the Spa 24 hours, mere hours after what happened with Delano. And the resounding thought that I had going through my head about the whole day was that race was under safety car and they decided to restart it in the wet with 1 lap to go.
Yeah.
And it's my resounding thought for that. I love the fishermen. That's great.
Brilliant.
Great. I love the scenes here from the marshals. At least keep us entertained on that front. Good lads. But the resounding question you have to ask is, why are you taking that risk? Why are you taking that risk? That people come here knowing when they look at the Spa-Francorchamps weather forecast, they buy the tickets, they know that it's going to be wet. You know you're putting them at risk. For the sake of just giving them a show is not a good enough reason to send these guys up Radillon at 180 kilometers an hour plus when they're standing water, when they can't keep it in a straight line behind the safety car. It is not a good enough reason, in my opinion. And it's mistakes and judgments like that that cost lives. It is. It's the sake of, you know, we've got to give somebody a show. We've got to give them something. No, you don't. You've got to send these guys home in one piece.
At what point do we mention that all the changes that Mohammed Ben Salam has made to the FIA, sacking race directors before they even have a chance to do anything, bringing completely inexperienced people in to run the junior formula, at what point do we say that he plays a part in the stupid decisions that go on in race control? Because I'm
the only
furious.
the only thing I'm going to say about that is bring on Tim.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I'm with you. He's got my full support.
Yeah.
Because this is ridiculous. I'm furious right now. Because yesterday was a shining example as to why the Junior Series can work at Spa.
Yeah.
Today, I'm hoping they prove me right again.
It's just, you need to take the safety concerns that you would normally take in these conditions to an extra degree at Spa, because there is so little runoff, there is so little opportunity to avoid an incident, because above anything else, Eau Rouge up to Radillon is blind. By the time you get up to the top of Radillon, you know, when you're at Eau Rouge, you can't see what's going to be up the road in front of you. You can't see, and you've got such little time to react. I just...
Look at the rain coming in.
I really hope they know... Yeah, I really, really hope they know what they're doing here, because this is playing a game you don't want to be playing.
Yeah. If it's too dangerous, then I hope they just abort this plan like they've done a few times, where they give the signal but then just cancel it.
We had that at Silverstone.
Yeah, we did. For Formula 3, they said they were going to send them back out to complete the race, but cancelled that plan. And the race did not resume while me and you were playing games up here in the box.
Yeah, I'm honestly thinking about bringing that controller back to the commentary box and playing some emulation games during the... Because we're going to have nothing else to do. And talking for 4 hours is not going to be great. JT will be on... I'm going to let him know to be on standby for the Formula E coverage in case this is still going on, because then I'll move over. But that race starts at 5 o'clock UK time. So that's what? 3, 4, 5, 3 hours? Yeah, the race will probably be cancelled by then.
Let's just remember yesterday, we had, after the contact at the beginning of the F2 race, Richard Verschoor losing the car completely at the bottom of Eau Rouge and over the top of Radion. How lucky we were that everybody was able to avoid him. And that was in the dry.
Yeah.
This is aquaplane territory at the top of Radion. It's horrendous still.
I don't often get scared.
They can't start this.
Yeah, I'm scared. I feel it. I don't like it. If we're having that in the commentary box, then I can't imagine how the drivers are feeling right now.
I think they're being ambitious.
Yeah.
I really, really think they're being ambitious with 905. I know that there's an incentive as an event promoter. You want to bring people through the gate, you want to give them racing, you want to give them entertainment. I personally am all for that, so long as you've got a good chance of sending everybody home in one piece. Right now, I don't think you have.
I think they've already done it, because look, it's stopped. Does it stop? I can't quite
Yeah, but again,
tell.
that's only on certain parts of the circuit. They're looking at it from 2 or 3 sections of the circuit. You've got to do your investigations and your checks, radioing every single marshal. What are the conditions like on Marshal Post 8? What are the conditions like on Marshal Post 5? What are the conditions like on Marshal Post 12? You can't just base it on what you can see directly in front of you. This is the biggest circuit on the calendar, and there are multiple areas of high fragility. You have got to take it into account that it's not just how good the circuit is in Sector 1. It's got to be everywhere.
Well, to be fair, on the Kemmel Straight, they have now taken the umbrellas down, so that's a good sign. But then again, as these people never heard of Eye of the Storm, because we know there's more rain coming. If we get a race, fine. Safe race though. That's what I'm going to point about.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
They were sending the jet dryers out when the water was still there and the rain was coming down harder. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. This feels completely again like it's.
Where's the value in doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what you've got to ask. That's what they've got to ask at this point. What is the value in sending them out under safety car now? Look, the rain is dissipated there, but that's one section of the circuit only.
This is ridiculous.
And there is a small band of low-intensity rain on the way, so it's only going to get worse.
Is that down at? That's into Stavelot.
That's
It's raining. It's raining. It's
That's
raining.
Stavelot.
It's raining again.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Here we go. More rain. That's just what we needed.
I know that you want to put a race on. I know that you want to give these guys a chance to run. I know all of those things, but you've got to take into consideration that there are 30 young lads here, and they've got families. They've got homes to go back to.
Yeah, this is frightening me a little bit.
Well, they're going to give it a go. Okay.
Right, I'm going to swap back so you guys can hear. Back in a minute.
Where from the team, race direction team?
At the moment, I'm looking like a few more drops in the next 10 minutes, and then actually largely dry for the next 5 minutes or so.
So largely, it should be okay. Can you guys hear the track noise of me on the mic now? Yeah, good.
This is brave.
Well, safety car is going to be out. The race will restart behind the safety car, so this is not going to be a race with 5 lights. Green light, And we are underway. The FIA flag officially signals the start of the race. And we are go for the feature here at Spa. The clock has started. And it is lap 1 of 15 here at Spa-Francorchamps. And you can see the water just on the DRS at the back here. With the cars waiting to leave the pit lane. Brad Benedives, Rafa Kamara, Callum Bolton, Roman Valinsky. If we get more than 2 laps, we have some basic points on the board. What are the conditions like? Better than what we started under the original formation lap, but still a lot of standing water. I don't think it's good yet.
No, I think they're going to be at least 4 laps behind the safety car before we go green. At least 4 laps.
Yeah, there's still a lot of spray down the Camel Straight. This is got, and we still haven't got cars leaving the pit lane, by the way. That's how big this circuit is. So just taking a look. By the way, this race should have been over by now.
Yeah.
So much for my, I'll get ready in the break. I don't think Tim Chaminix officially is out of this race, all right. So that's unfortunate. They couldn't repair it under the safety car. So they fly in again. Oh, and off the track!
Oh.
That didn't take long. This is what I was saying. Look, you can't just base it on 2 corners on the circuit being better than it was. It's the whole circuit.
Tenasapol into Privazak, aquaplaning off, luckily coming to a rest on the inside curve down at Malmedy into Ravage, and this is...
The biggest thing is that these F3 cars are untested in these conditions.
Yeah. Oh.
So the drivers don't know how they're going to respond. They don't know how they're going to evolve in these conditions.
It's just on a straight line, I mean, just aquaplanes.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's gonna have to take a warning action first of all from just making sure that he doesn't hit Zolov. So yeah, first of all has to avoid hitting his teammate, and that causes an erratic move on the steering wheel, and then he has to try and get it slowed down because he had a lot of overspeed coming into it.
Oh, he's beached.
And then he finds himself off, beached.
And he's now beached, so he can't move. So this is just silly. This is just silly. What are we doing?
It's raining again, by the way. Heavier. They want to complete 2 laps. That's what they want to do here. It's the same as what we saw in 2021. So he's reversed it and then stops.
Yeah, well, he's beached. He should have kept it going. He needed to keep his foot in.
Yeah.
But how does he know that? How does he know that?
He's never had experience in this on that part of the circuit that's worked before. So the safety car is now actually out for a real reason.
We have this time and time again. We never learn. We never ever learn. That's the problem I have with this. We never learn.
By the way, several riders injured in the World Superbikes. We're down from 23 to 19. 4 injured yesterday in the race, in the accident that we had with the red flag, as they start their 1000th race later on today.
Man, can you reverse it if possible? No, I cannot. They break so soft.
That's right, yeah.
I see now. Look at stuck.
And officially, the safety car has now been deployed. So this race is now... Well, actually, it's very clever what they've done there, because they have now completed 1 racing lap under
Yeah,
green
they now
flag.
make this an official safety car lap. Yeah, it's clever. Very clever.
Very good.
They can get points in now. Oh, this is just silly. It's not a race.
Stupid.
Is that even allowed? With the race
They can totally do it. Yeah, they can totally do it.
Race starts behind the safety
silly.
car, but technically you're going to be green. That technically happened back in Fuji 2007. We spent 23 laps behind the safety car, but it was never officially a safety car.
It just defeats the point of the object. It's the equivalent of sending 2 teams out onto the match, telling them not to kick a ball, and after 90 minutes declaring it a draw.
Oh,
What's the point?
Hello. This is slowing down. Yeah.
Okay, so from the right control, we have to drop back behind car 20, which is healthy, so we will start the race 27. 1.
We don't know
But
why.
why?
Has he worked
We've
on
not had it-
something?
We've not had any reports from race control about that.
Okay. This race is just bizarre. Also, that's going to require a red flag because they're going to have to bring a JCB onto the track, and if one car can lose it aquaplaning, they all can.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. This is turning into a bit of a farce, if I'm honest.
Bert Myland is going, how am I in the same situation twice? He will be the victor of this event like he was in 2021.
Yep.
Bert did more laps as well, actually, that day.
My biggest annoyance here is that we just never ever learn,
No.
and we should. You know, we should be learning from our mistakes here, and we're just not. And that's what bugs me the most about this, I think.
What's annoying is, yeah, looking at it, it's doable, but not in this formula. If this was Formula 1,
No.
we'd be able to go racing. But in F3, no.
Yeah, there are so many case studies, recent case studies as well. It's not even ancient history. Recent case studies as to why this is asinine. And yet here we are doing the same thing over and over again. The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And here we are, where we were 2 years ago in the 24-hour weekend, where we were 4 years ago in similar weather conditions, and we've never learned.
This race will now be timed. Red flag is out. The red flag is out.
Yeah, come on. That should have happened 5 minutes ago.
And with a 10-minute signal needing to be given for a restart, but they have stopped the clock, interestingly enough.
It's just so silly. Just cancel the race and move on.
Well,
Don't put these guys in jeopardy for the sake of protocol and logistics. Come on, see some sense.
The clock has now restarted. Yeah, so 10 minutes needed for a restart. Well, actually, that's clever. We didn't need a JCB. We've got the truck on the inside. Oh, don't bring the marshals.
Yeah, we have indeed. Fair enough.
That's clever. Okay, so the red flag is out. 10 minutes needed for the restart. 4 minutes on the clock. That's race over. Brad Benedives is the victor of this event after completing 2 laps. Rafael Kamara and Callum Vozin will be your podium, and this race I don't think will restart. That is a 2021 situation just to get a basic result in and to say that they had a race. Don't like that.
We've learnt nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What did you say? Asinine? Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally. We claim to be keeping out for the safety and welfare of everybody, except the drivers. Clearly.
I'm expecting.
How can we still be doing this? How can we? It's 2025. How can we still be running the events like this?
I'll tell you now, last lap 3:38 behind the safety car, 10-minute restart signal. I'm expecting in about 5 seconds time the race will not be resumed to come through.
Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Grip is fine, apparently, but it's visibility. Visibility.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the grip wasn't
That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters.
So I'm expecting the race will not be resumed signal to come in the next minute and a half because it can't. And surprisingly,
I don't want to say too much about my emotions about this because it's running the risk of the end of my career. I just don't want to get into it.
One thing I'm very scared about is actually they would hang on a minute. I've just realised something. We started the clock with 45 minutes, and then they reduced it to 15 deliberately and brought the red flag out. I've just realised that. So they've deliberately reduced the time distance.
Yeah.
But So we're now just waiting for race control to tell us that the race will not resume, which we all know is going to happen because we've got. Do you reckon it's going to be okay for the F2?
Might not be. It might not be. I'm sorry. I'm just feeling. I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm getting that residual feeling back from 2 years ago. It's just history's repeating itself. It's mad.
This is a dangerous day.
These are grown men making these decisions, you know?
And they're not doing it logically.
It's just stupid. It's just absolutely stupid.
Well, they're going to wait until after the 10 minutes signal, aren't they? Like with 11 to go, they're going to wait 2 more minutes and then give it.
Yeah.
Stupid protocol.
As long as you get your protocol and as long as you get your, you know, your issues sorted out and everything, hang the drivers. All it takes is for one aquaplane, and once you're going sideways, your red light can't be sighted until somebody hits it. It's not worth the gamble.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
And also to risk it. Do you reckon if we didn't have a Rouge, we could go racing?
Potentially, maybe.
Yeah.
Potentially, maybe.
Yeah,
but the thing is that here at Spa, you've got two overriding factors that make it difficult. You've got that drop to Eau Rouge and that rise up to Raidillon, which is blind at speed.
Yeah.
That's one of the critical problems. The other critical problem here is the propensity to the trees, and the trees gather the moisture, and that means that the humidity, it kind of collects the clouds and the rain showers, it kind of collects in, so it adds an extra mist. It's why we very nearly didn't get started with practice, because the fog was so surreal, and it's really intense here. Fog is massive in this part of the world. So the gathering and the collection of the trees here make it a bigger risk. And that's the thing, you've got two major causes for concern. Look at that, there you go. Exactly as I was saying. The mist here is a big issue as to why there is low visibility in these conditions. So it's more extreme. You can't treat this place like you would Monza, like you would Portimao, like you would Barcelona. It's completely different. So you have to have a completely different mindset. And to send these out on the off chance, do you know what it is? Do you know what the attitude is? It's the let's just see what happens approach.
And that's the most dangerous.
That's the most reckless, the most ridiculous attitude you can have.
So sorry, mate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Correct.
The race
absolutely correct.
will not be resumed, if we can even call that a race.
Now, did they complete 2 laps? I'm not sure they actually did.
Red flag came out after 1 lap completed, but we took 1 off for the formation lap. Then we did the lap 1 under green flag conditions. Technically, we can have a result.
Well,
and they've said sorry to Brad Benavides, which means he is not going to be declared as a winner. That's a race that's been cancelled.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
But I agree with the decision.
Yeah.
Look, that's the most... Race will not be resumed is the most sensible decision they've made in the last 45 minutes.
So, if we knew we have to complete 2 laps, why didn't we just complete 2 laps before putting out the red flag? Race control don't even know their own systems. This happened back... The only reason, and this is literally it, the only reason Japan 2014 restarted was because Charlie Whiting made the critical error of putting the red flag out early. He red flagged it lap 2, not understanding the rule of the countback.
Yeah.
Because when he thought when they came into the pit lane, 2 laps would be completed. Doesn't how it worked. Countback goes back a lap. And that annoys me as well. It has stopped raining as well. That's the thing at this part of the circuit. And now they're sending them out. They will not do a complete lap, by the way. They are sending them back to the international paddock. So all it is just literally a loop back into the secondary pit lane. As you can see, the safety cars leaves them in. So the race will not resume. We have had no information on who is the winner. And look, even the CEO doesn't know what's going on. Like, even he's shaking his head going, no, don't know.
We never ever learn. There has got to be some proper change and some proper regime disciplinary at the top. There's got to be. Otherwise, you're just doing the same things over and over again with no purpose, with no sense, with no logic. And this is ridiculous. Ultimately, it's ridiculous. You are jeopardizing the lives of 30 young racing drivers who have no business being out on the race circuit in these conditions. And if anybody had a brain cell in their head and was working properly, they would know that going in.
So just looking, they're going to try and clear the track. Bert Byland is doing another lap.
See, now you've got a reason to clear the track. If you can get the jet sprays cleared a little bit, now that there's this little absence of rain, there might be enough work to get the F2 on. You might just about do it to get the F2 on.
Even if we start behind the safety car for a couple of laps, let's just see what it's like with F2 cars.
What interests me is that why is there no potential in the regulations now to kind of do what they used to do in the 90s? You would often have the Grand Prix, and then there would be a race or two after the Grand Prix to complete the weekend. You would have the British Touring Car race after the British Grand Prix itself, 1995, case in point, because the big rain never came until after the Grand Prix had finished, and then you had the BTCC race on the Sunday after the F1. So why is there no possibility in the regulations that you could have the Grand Prix, it finishes by what, 5:30, and then you could run the F3 race after that? Why not do that?
Exactly, because we ran the qualifying at 7 o'clock on Friday.
We did. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We need to have a rule, considering we're getting so many cancellations nowadays of these races, whether it be Porsche, whether it be F1 Academy even earlier this year, or whatever it be. There needs to be the option to just be able to try again after the Grand Prix, because I mean it's free time. It's like no one cares in MotoGP when they do it. No one's gonna care anywhere. No one's gonna start crying that F1's not the last event on the weekend. What a shame! Oh my god.
I think it's the golden thing of F1 is the only important thing here. No one else is. It's like it took years for the F3 and F2 to be cared about on the TV package front, to have the same graphics, the same stuff, the same iteration. So it took years, but I do agree with you. There's a passionate fan. I believe Italian. How can we tell? They're here. Okay. No result. No result.
Sensible.
Yeah. That's a shame. So Brad Benedives does not win. The race is cancelled. Very similar to what we saw then in Australia. Because
it was the only decision that they could have taken, in my opinion. The only decision.
So no points and no trophy. So that's a shame. I hope the F3 know what they're doing. F2 cars go to the grid shortly. My guess is they're doing shenanigans with the rulebook to give a little bit of points to the top 10. Could be. We did technically complete a lap under green flag because the safety car wasn't put out until lap 2. So we've completed one.
I mean, I hope not, because some of the, if I remember correctly, the regulations state that we have to have like 2 laps under green or something.
Yeah.
If they,
that's it.
Award points.
That's it. No result, no points, no podium. The race is just cancelled because the F3's gone off here. Well, that's a shame. Little to be said there, I think, chaps. Jake, what's your final thoughts on this one?
We need to learn.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We need to learn.
Amy, what about you?
Pretty much same thing.
Yeah.
Learning has to be had after this weekend, I think it's fair to say.
Well, I'm sorry to make you all wake up so early around the world as well and join us for the Formula 3 that we tried but simply never got going. We'll try again in around about 20 minutes' time for the F2s to get underway. Join us then for all the action. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.